What if I told you there is a hidden language that unlocks every conversation, every sale, and every relationship that you will ever have? And today, my friends, we are cracking it wide open. Before we dive in, imagine knowing exactly how to speak to your customers' hidden desires so they feel like you are reading their mind. Stick around because my guest, Cheri Tree, and I are giving you guys a free tool today to crack that code, and you will not want to miss it. Welcome to the stage. It's about to go down. It's Cheri Tree in the Carlos Inspire Show. Welcome to the house. What's up, Cheri?
I feel like I need to come out with like a belt and some boxing gloves on.
Yeah. I am super excited. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't know this incredible woman, she's the founder and CEO of Decoded, the author of Why They Buy, and a powerhouse lioness, just like speaking around the world. And I'm so happy her and I have been on the stages with all the legends, some of these guys that you guys see on the screen, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Mr. David Meltzer, Jay Shetty, Shark Tanks, you label, the whole gang. And I'm super excited to have her with us today. And oh, you guys are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I'm going to say. You will want to stay into the end because this podcast will be another one that we will take it to the grave. And with no further ado, Cheri, your B.A.N.K methodology is used in over 100 countries. Take us back to the beginning. What was that moment that you realized human behavior could be coded like software? Takes us there.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was a young college graduate, wanted to really figure out how to make money. I wanted to be a millionaire. That was just one of my big dreams. And you know, Robert Kiyosaki said, if you're going to be good in business as an entrepreneur, you need to be good in sales. So I jumped in, became a financial advisor, was working on full commission model. And my first year, I crushed it. I made $700. Like that was my whole income, you know? And so I realized I had a steep hill to climb. And so I really dug in and I started studying everything I could learn about sales, attended conferences, read books, listened to audio programs, hired coaches, did all of that. And over a 5-year period, I got my income up to $72,000. And, you know, the company said, great job, keep it up. But I didn't feel successful because the truth is I was $30,000 in credit card debt. I'm renting an apartment, couldn't qualify for a home. And I'm driving a broken salvage title BMW playing the fake it till you make it game.
I've been there, sister.
Oh, it was horrible, you know. And I heard this quote. I was sitting across from a husband-wife couple, giving them advice on where they should invest their financial portfolio, all of their life savings. And I'll never forget this moment because they turned and looked at me and they said, well, Cheri, where do you invest your money? And I was like, well, I don't have any money. That's why I want your money, you know. And I felt like I was so out of integrity. And I heard this other quote from Robert Kiyosaki where he said, stop taking advice from people more messed up than you. And Carlos, this was like a reckoning moment for me because I thought I have no business trying to tell other people where they should be putting their money when I have none of my own. It felt like being such a hypocrite. So it's at this point where I started to like have a lot of thoughts like, you know, something's broken. Maybe it's me that's broken. Maybe I'm just not cut out for sales and entrepreneurship. Or was it perhaps the system that was broken? And the best news of it all was I found out it actually wasn't me and it's not any of your listeners. It was the system. The system is programming us to fail. And that's what I want to talk about.
Wow. No, I love that, Cheri. I love that. It's because I was literally having a great talk earlier. We're having a lot of people reaching out to us. You know, the podcast has taken off so much. Great plug, by the way, guys. The carlosinspireshow.com. As you guys know, we bring this podcast to you guys free. with with the goals to be the number one most powerful podcast to bring educational content with all the legends you guys see in the back, the legends you guys seeing on the screen, and all the legends that are about to come on this show in 2025 and beyond. This month, we are celebrating our 6-year anniversary. So I'm so proud, even though I've been interviewing since MySpace, 21 plus years, interviewing influencers like Cheri, celebrities, athletes, every day, even stay-home mom and dads are out there doing something to help society, getting other people's lives to be better, to push. Because as we all go through that point, as Cheri's talking about your stories, I have the fake it till you make it, old school Honda Accord, pushing it, run out of gas, my immigrant days in America. Oh God, but I'm just so excited, my friend. And one thing that I always say, Cheri, is communication isn't about what you say, it's about what they hear.
Yes.
And I know you can relate to that with all the things that you teach. And Cheri, tell us something. You spoke at Harvard, you spoke at the UN about this. I spoke at many amazing universities myself, and you know how it is. But break down to us like the neuroscience behind this. How does personality coding actually rewire how we connect? Let's go a little bit deeper to give our audience even a little bit more value on this, so people can really think how amazing this is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody who's an entrepreneur. So this goes back to what's broken exactly in the first place. Robert Kiyosaki, he says the number one skill in business is sales, right? And yet this is where I found we're programmed to fail. We've been brainwashed, Carlos, into believing one of the greatest lies ever told, which is that sales is a numbers game. Like, how many times have you heard that before, right?
Oh,
and in order to get more yeses, you have to get more
no's.
More no's. And like everybody knows that because that's what we've been brainwashed into believing, to go for no. But I woke up one day 5 years into this, Carlos, and I said, that's actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses, not more no's. So that's when my life changed, when I started to pursue, like, how do you actually get a yes? Is there a system to it? Is there a science to it? What is that? And that's where I had this massive breakthrough, and I discovered a huge secret. I want to share it with your audience, because the secret is that sales is not a numbers game. It's a people game. And the moment I shifted my focus from sales to people, everything changed. This is when I discovered personality science. And I ended up, and I'll tell the story if we have time, how I invented this system, the B.A.N.K system, to help me understand people, who I was communicating with as my customers, and how to get a yes instead of a no. And in one single year, using my B.A.N.K experiment with customers, I took my income from $72,000 to over $500,000. So a 7x increase. And I did it in 1/3 the time, right? So this is about people who want exponential growth, exponential hockey stick income. That's what happened for me. And within 3 years, my income was over $1 million a year. And at that point, like, I couldn't go anywhere without people saying, tell me your secret, come teach it to our sales team, come speak at our conference. And this is kind of how this thing just started to grow up and blow up, so to speak. But it was all based on the fact that I needed to study people and personality science versus sales and sales methodologies or sales tactics.
No, I love that. I often, even in one of my banners, I talk about this a lot. It's they are people, and I point to the people. I say they are people, not numbers.
Yes.
And that change right there, it's mind blowing. Because at the end of the day, we heard that all the time, right? People, they buy from people they know, like, and trust. But for some of you guys listening to us, I know that we have thousands of sales teams, sales leaders, event organizers listening to us now. And you guys want to get more, you want to grow your companies, but how well do you guys really know them on a very deeper level? And have you guys ever asked the question, how well do I know them on a personality level and understand their codes, right? And as I've been, preparing for this segment with you, I've been doing a lot of research and going back to some of the things that I learned from back in the day. And for you guys listening, did you guys know, guys, that 82% of buyers, they will pay more to work with someone who gets them, but only 18% of salespeople even try to match their client's personality. That's leaving millions of dollars on the table. Just let that sink in for a minute and rewind this part, because it's incredible when you guys go tactical. You guys know me. I like to go tactical, and I like to extract the best out of my guests. I like to go deep into their subconscious mind so you guys can take what you are learning here today, go apply it. You guys know me. I like to give you guys practical tools. The last 100 plus episodes, baby. It's a lot of great people that have been here giving their best and sharing. We are just getting warmed up over here. In a minute, we're gonna drop it down a link below where you guys will be able to crack your own code for free. And on top of that, Cheri, I heard some rumors that she's gonna be even giving it away. One of her master classes that people pay right now, $499 for free to every single one of you listening to this episode. So you want to keep listening. So my friend Cheri, you like I said earlier, you scaled to 100 countries. You've been around the world. You've been teaching these. You and I, we follow what we preach. We document our processes, the testimonials, the amazing results that we are getting out there. But what do you think is the biggest cultural misconception people have about human behavior?
I mean, I come at it from the lens of an entrepreneur, but it's like this, we're supposed to just assume that there's a one size fits all approach. And that's just not the truth. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. But the question is, how do you work smarter? What are the things that you can do to hack the system, to disrupt the system in order to create those exponential results, right? And this is where we have to think outside the box. Like if they're saying that sales is a numbers game and a go for no, what if sales is actually a people game and you can go for yes? So I started swimming upstream, and that made me a multi-millionaire. And I got really addicted to helping teach this to other people because, man, if you can rewire the mindset and then you can develop the skill set and give them a tool set, they can jet set. And that's the formula for success, Carlos. So, this thing is very powerful, and I'm happy to jump into some of the specifics. If you want to
I definitely want to, especially I want to get into AI here in a second.
Yeah.
Before I go there and have you break that down, it's funny how you pointed to my one of my companies in my site, which happens to be Disruptors Code. Yeah. And this is a different code, guys. Some of you guys know I own banks and I'm part of hedge funds. I have insurance companies around the country that we help people protect and grow their money tax-free. And it's funny, as we were talking here right now, Cheri, now even I'm reflecting, one of the ways that I grow my company so much is because I made it about the people. Yeah. I teach all the agents that came to me from all the companies, I gave them 100% commission to start instead of 30, 40, 50%. My competitors want to be to call what we're doing. We're like, no, I'm going to do it to you guys what I wish was done to me. Give me 100%. Tell me how much you want me to mentor and coach you for free. You guys know me. I used to charge $50,000 to coach people how to start their own insurance agency, wealth agency, so that you become $250,000 or more per year. And now I'm teaching people, that are in alignment for free and giving them that 100%. And now teaching them how do we give half of our commission so our clients have even more of their money growing it tax-free, being protected tax-free. And when the economy crashes they lose $0. There are certain products out there that the ultra rich are using for so long, but a lot of the banks and the governments, they don't want people to understand how to structure this. And if you do it correctly as an agent by giving away half of your commission, now even more money grows tax-free. And again, as we are talking and I'm putting myself up, wow, a lot of those principles are around putting them first. Is understanding what is their code. We're getting older. We need to make sure we don't lose any money. We protect our money. And if we can grow it tax-free, even better. Now we are above and beyond what is Albert Einstein say, the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. He missed one point, tax-free compound interest. And little plug, guys, one of my companies, disruptorscode.com. Go there, take a look. This is available only for Americans. I'm looking at ways to open this up internationally. In the meantime, anybody in the US, disruptorscode.com. Watch the video there and book a time with one of my agents or myself, and we can talk more about that. Now, right back to the segment. Codebreaker AI is one of the first of its kind. How do you ensure technology built to decode the people doesn't become manipulative? Let's go a little bit deeper into that and tell us a little bit about, the Codebreaker AI.
Yeah, well, I think first is let's understand the code itself. So B.A.N.K is an acronym, right? I wrote the book Why They Buy. And it's based on the B.A.N.K code. If you're watching the video of this, right? B.A.N.K is the acronym. So these are the 4 different types of buyers. This dates back thousands of years, the personality science. But what I wanted to figure out is what makes someone say yes versus no. Okay, so that was the first thing. The B is a blueprint. This is going to be the type of customer that's very conservative, inside the box, does not want to take risks, and doesn't want to change much. The A is action. That's the mover, shaker, millionaire maker, hair on fire, like go for it type of person. The N is nurturing. This is the person that says, money's not what motivates me. It's the mission. It's the movement. It's the good that you're doing in the world. I care about people and relationships. And the K in B.A.N.K is the knowledge. That's the person that says, give me all the data, the analytics, the expertise, the science. And the idea is that every person in the world is all 4 codes. So each human is part blueprint, part action, part nurturing, part knowledge. And that's what makes up their B.A.N.K code. So when I was thinking about this, Carlos, I'm like, well, how do I communicate to someone in their exact B.A.N.K code sequence? You think of a B.A.N.K code like a PIN code. If you take out your debit card and go put it into the ATM machine, it wants you to enter a 4-digit PIN code if you want your money to come out. Well, your customers are the exact same way. If you can communicate to them in their 4-digit B.A.N.K code sequence, a yes will come out. And of course, in the scale of business, that always means that the money is coming. So I wanted to know, how could I crack someone's B.A.N.K code, and how could I get it right in less than 90 seconds? So I created this really cool interactive gamified way. If you're watching the video feed, I created a set of 4 cards, right? I got them right here on my screen, the B.A.N.K cards. And I would literally hand them to my customers and ask them to sort them in order of their preference, most like them to least like them. I told them this is going to help me serve them better, get to know them better, and save us both some time. So in doing this quick little activity, what I discovered was that the customer was willing to crack their code and reveal what was most important to them. Then I, using emotional intelligence and the framework of B.A.N.K, was able to alter my communication in a non-manipulative way in order to serve the customer. In other words, if I know what's most important to you, Carlos, then I can customize our time together based on your priorities instead of potentially wasting time based on mine. You say that type of line to a customer, they're gonna like you a lot more. They're gonna trust you a lot more. So when we come to the AI part, my question was, what if I could crack someone's code without handing them the cards? What if I've never even met them? Could I use an AI model to predict your B.A.N.K code? Could I pull up your LinkedIn profile, use our AI to analyze your entire profile, generate a B.A.N.K code prediction, and guide me on how to engage with you, message you, set up an appointment with you, sell to you, recruit you, hire you, and so forth, just based on knowing that code. And that's where we've taken the artificial intelligence, and man, it's an incredible world.
And guys, I really hope you guys are listening to what she just said here. Imagine you guys go on your LinkedIn and you go look at somebody's profile, and you have the framework, the code software link to your LinkedIn. And now the LinkedIn is going to tell you exactly what the B.A.N.K code sequence is for that profile that you are looking at. So now imagine how that conversation would it go. Imagine your ability, whatever you're trying to do. You want to sell your consulting services, your coaching services, your mental health services, your super pill health magical exercise to release the way, or your network marketing company that makes somebody super wealthy and happy and go to the beach and whatever, right? So now imagine, just play with me for a second. Every time you go on LinkedIn from now on, you look at somebody, boom, the B.A.N.K code pops up. And you know exactly what the code is and exactly how to talk to that person, their touch points. Now it's based on neuroscience. This is powerful. And I know some of you, okay, Carlos, give me the link. All right, I'm going to put the link here below under the descriptions. Anybody listening to this, whether you're on Apple or Spotify, in the descriptions, there will be a link that will give you guys the ability to crack your own code for free. If you're on YouTube, look at the descriptions. If you're on X, on Facebook or LinkedIn, look under the comments. I will post it so nobody can clone me or act like they are me. I will never message you asking you for money. That's not me, it's AI. Thank God I've been blessed. But guys, no joke. I want you guys to go there. Cheri and she agreed to give you guys a free crack your code for free by using that link. On top of that, anybody that want to learn how to use this, she's going to open up and also give a free masterclass that she's charging right now $499 per person to teach. Every single person listening to the show and watching us live will have the ability to crack their code and go through the masterclass for free. So go to the link below in the comments, in the descriptions. It's about to go down. My friend, I'm big when it comes to data, Cheri. That's why I'm really enjoying this episode. I've been teaching data mining for so long. I often, when I'm on the stage, I tell the audience, guys, write it down and go ask 3 to 5 people this $1 million question. I've been teaching this to Fortune 50 companies. And the question is so powerful, which is, where in the heart of hearts did you decide emotionally and financially to hire me as your coach, as your speaker, as your trainer, right? Because now when I ask that question, I want to pinpoint to the millisecond what I was doing. Did I have a crazy chicken? Did I have my bicycle on the stage? Did I had my book on my hand? Did I had something crazy that I did? Did I jump out of the stage? And whatever it was. So now I'm getting real-time data, the millisecond. Where did I had you guys at hello? Oh, Carlos, I listened to Cheri and you on the show, and you guys were so mind-blowing. I actually want to hire both of you to come in and speak to my sales team as a duo. You'll be making some good money. I'm telling you that right now. But whatever that point is, I want to hear. I asked the event organizers, the CEOs of Fortune 50 companies. I asked many gurus that I work with, when did you decide to hire me? What it was that thing that I said, the millisecond? And again, that all goes back to data. And I love that you use a lot of data and neuroscience on your codes. So, like I tell people all the time, data tells us what, but humanity tells us why.
Yeah. Well, I love that you say that. This is exactly why I wrote the book, Why They Buy. It's not how to sell. It's why do they buy? I want to know exactly what you're asking. What made that person say yes versus no, down to the millisecond, down to what I called a bank code. What makes one person say yes makes another person say no. Why? Right? And that's what I figured out. I figured out where all the tripwires and triggers were. A trigger moves a customer to yes. A tripwire moves a customer to no. So when you shared that statistic in the beginning, I'm going to reiterate it. The Chali group did a study and they said, hey, I wonder if personality types matter in the sales process. And here's exactly what they came back and published. Only 18% of buyers are going to buy from a salesperson who does not match the buyer's personality type versus 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. So in traditional sales, we've heard that people will buy from you when they know you, like you, and trust you. Well, I had to sit there and think, what creates the know, like, and trust factor? It's the match of the personality style. So wait a minute. You're saying that if I can figure out what the personality code of that person is, if I as a salesperson can simply match that buyer's personality type with good intent, not bad intent, then I'm 82% likely to get a yes instead of a no. And that's where B.A.N.K came in. It was designed to triple a sales conversion rate by matching the 4 personality styles and then delivering the exact messaging that unlock the yes and avoids the no. And it works to a charm, like to the point where this is scientifically validated and published in studies now. They could not believe that this was the case, and it's the case.
I'm telling you, and it builds so much trust, with the companies over the years as I do a lot of data mining and teaching, and you do that, literally with the code. And, and I often talk about this all the time on the stage. The currency of the future, trust. Like real talk, guys. Like your vibes, you guys are all the time attracts your tribe, but guess what? Your codes attracts your ROI. Let me drop that mic. You know, that's a good one right there, right? So I put in the code below. Go to that link to track your code for free, guys. And I want you guys to actually come back on this live and let me know what your code was. And I want you
Yeah.
guys to comment below what your code was. You never know what will happen for them. You might even get a little video call or video message from Cheri or I. But my friend, if someone listening feels stuck in their sales or relationships, what is the first step, Cheri, would you tell them to take tomorrow?
I mean, Carlos, for me, it's crack the code. Look, emotional intelligence is kind of a major key factor to success. Harvard's done a lot of studies and they said, what's more important, IQ, like how smart you are, or EQ, like how well you understand other human beings? And they came back and said EQ in every single category. So what B.A.N.K is doing is it's actually activating emotional intelligence, which is two parts. Part one of emotional intelligence is understanding yourself and understanding how to self-regulate. And then part two is understanding the other person and how do you modify yourself to match and meet them where they're at, right? So empathy and so forth. And that's what the B.A.N.K code does. And I'm going to illustrate this. If I've got on my red glasses, like I'm action personality type, I'm blazing a trail. And you and me, when we first met, this was a love at first sight, massive chemistry, fireworks and flames coming out of our immediate relationship because we were alike. But what if you weren't? What if you were more blueprint, or what if you were more neuroscience intellectual? The key is to take my lens off and put your lens on, right? And now I'm going to slow down my tempo. If I'm talking to someone knowledge and I use the color green, for example, I'm going to get way more analytical. I'm going to talk about the science, the case studies, where the research was done. I'm going to talk about how I taught this at Harvard University at a master's level course. We're going to go through some of those types of data studies and what we've been able to determine from that, where the analytics are coming from. And I'm going to have a completely different discussion versus what if I need to take that lens off and instead I'm talking to someone that's a lot more nurturing, heart-centered. I'm going to talk about how, B.A.N.K is transformative way beyond the boardroom, but all the way to the bedroom, to the classroom. Carlos, I've had people come up to me and say, your B.A.N.K system saved my marriage. And I said, how did it do that? And it's like, well, I cracked the code of my spouse. I've been married for 20 years and I never figured this out until your code. And I've had people say, this made me a way better parent. And I said, how did it do that? They're like, well, I've been parenting my children wrong. I've been, parenting them as a one size fits all, but actually I need to individually parent them, and it's transformed relationships. I've had kids not talk to me that now talk to me because I communicate to them in their code. I had a family come to me, and this is when everything really got real for me. When a family came to me and said, B.A.N.K just prevented a suicide in our family, our teenage son. And I was like, I was mind blown. I had no idea that this framework I built for sales was actually literally saving lives. So I've got churches using this in marriage ministries. I've got schools using it to reduce bullying and suicide. And all of a sudden I realized the humanity side of B.A.N.K was understanding another human being. And how do you communicate with that human being in a way that has them feel understood? These are some of the principles, like from the 7 habits: seek first to understand, then to be understood. That requires you to put on their lens, not your lens, right? Or to finish this little example, if I'm dealing with someone who's a blueprint, the B in B.A.N.K, this is a person who doesn't trust you initially. They're going to be skeptical. They want the framework laid out. They want to know where's all the risk guarantees, the gotcha clauses, the fine print, the dot the I's, cross the T's. What are the step-by-step ways to implement this? How much does it cost? And so forth. And you've got to be able to communicate that. So again, the idea of B.A.N.K is take your lens off and put their lens on, whichever one it is, and get good enough to where you can communicate to them in their lens or in their B.A.N.K code, and watch how the chemistry and the synergy just comes together. It's incredible.
No, my friend, I love it. I highly recommend anybody that's struggling within sales or relationships, definitely just well articulated answer. Go crack your code. That's the first step. And we're allowing everyone here to crack their code for free. And Cheri is even nice enough to waive her $4.99 and teach you guys how to really use the Crack the Code, the bank system that you can help in your business, in your industry. And I highly recommend, guys. And my friend, you wanted to create the hashtag one world, one language. Can you paint us a picture, Cheri? What does the world look like in 2030?
Oh, I mean, but our goal, it's another hashtag, 8 billion codes. Here's my philosophy. Every human in the world has a bank code, and they're either going to go to their grave with that code still locked inside, or they're going to get access. They're going to crack their code. They're going to meet a code breaker, and they're going to understand themselves better. And then we want to pay it forward and give them a key, which is the code to understanding the other human beings in their life, whether it's personal relationships or professional relationships. So the world that we're creating, our mission as a company is to connect and empower humanity. And our mantra is make people matter. When I make you matter, if I really care about you, Carlos, again, whether I'm trying to win you as a client or date you or be friends with you or whatever the story is, if I genuinely care about you, then I genuinely care about what your code is, what's most important to you, and how can I match and meet those expectations that you have. And equally, and this is my utopia version of the world, is I would want you to reciprocate that back. And this is emotional intelligence, two-way street. If you genuinely care about me and my code, then you will also do your best to meet my needs from that perspective. And if we're both reciprocating that, I had a guy come up to me and said, Cheri, I think you're going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And I was like, what? I'm literally trying to train salespeople, and you're saying I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize? I said, why would you even say that? He said, I come from Israel. It's a country torn in war. And I think we could see that, right? All over the news. He said, the only reason that country leaders think of what's happening in the real world right now with Putin, Zelensky, etc. The only reason country leaders fight is because they don't know how to communicate with each other in an emotionally intelligent way, in a way that yields peace instead of war. So that's the world that I want to create. I want everybody to be able to access this, to be able to use this, to be able to thrive, to be able to build healthy relationships. Tony Robbins says this quote, and I want to share it. He says, the two master skills of life is the science of achievement, which means go out there and crush it, and the art of fulfillment, which means build very meaningful relationships, give back, and so forth. And this is where the DNA strand of B.A.N.K is such that you can go win in business and you can go have an incredible life with happiness and relationships, and you do deserve to have the best of both.
I bet you Tony's quote is exactly like yours and I.
Yeah.
Well, I have a saying for you here, my friend.
Yeah.
The best way to predict the future, coded.
I love that quote. I say it all the time, right? That's way to predict the future.
And guys, question for you. I really hope you guys are loving it. I see the wow, I see the let's see. So I love shout out to everybody here, man, live with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, X. I have somebody here with the comment, people commenting, and man, just shout out to everybody here that are with us live. But Cheri, you are both purpose and profit driven. How do you reconcile those when advising companies?
I mean, you have to have both. Look, at the end of the day, if a company's not profitable, they cease to exist. They have layoffs. Nobody gets a job. You can't bring the product to the market. You can't transform lives. Companies have to make profit, but they also need to be in this world purpose driven. What is the positive impact that you're doing? What is the good that you are doing? How are you making humanity a better place than a worse place? You have to give more than you take. So how do you develop and groom your employees to be successful and productive and profitable as an organization? How do you impact humanity for the better? These are all really important equations. And the companies that are getting these messages right, let's use an example case study, Tom's Shoes. Tom's Shoes says, when you buy one, we give one, right? Or Warby Parker glasses or Bombas socks. So when our team got together with our board of advisors, we said, we want to do the same thing. How about whenever someone becomes a code breaker and buys our system, what if we gift and donate our system to a nonprofit or to a school that needs it? So we did that. We went on a humanitarian expedition this last year to South Africa. We brought B.A.N.K to 3 different schools, primary school, middle school, and high school. You can't even believe the transformative conversations that we had with those human beings in a country far, far away, teaching them this bank code system so that they have the best chance to go out there and succeed in their lives. Like, this is where life fulfillment comes from, right? So you know that, Carlos.
I love that, my friend.
It's
I
not
love
just
that. I
money,
love
it's
that.
about
As I, you know, me, I come from the streets, and I can imagine how much fun the kids have because you gamify the whole process. Guys, it takes literally less than 90 seconds. Once you guys click on the link that we prepared to give you guys to crack your code for free, it will take you less than 90 seconds to crack your own code, your loved ones' codes. You can share that code and that link with others. And then if you want to apply that in your own business, in your own company, which I highly recommend, go through the free masterclass that we waiving the fees for you guys, $4.99, no cost, so that you guys can apply that. And for some of you guys that will be using that, wait until you start using that on your LinkedIn and understanding the profiles and the codes from the people that you guys wanted to connect, then that you wanted to help, that you wanted to assist, that you wanted to recruit, or whatever your intentions are. And wow, my friend, time goes by fast. As some of you guys know, we always try to stick with 40 to 60 minutes in the show. And as we're getting towards here, the last question, Cheri, I want you to tell us, what is the best place? Where do you hang out the most on social media? Like, where can people follow you? Is it Instagram? Is it LinkedIn? Where do you spend most of the time on social?
Yeah, I'd like to think that I'm, a lot younger and say Instagram or TikTok, but the truth is I'm kind of more of a Facebook person. I also am obviously on Instagram, not really TikTok, and LinkedIn on the professional side. So yeah, that's
by your name, Cheri Tree, or any specific name?
Yeah, you know what? We'll give them to you for the show notes, and people can follow me or message me from there. So because it's different. Sometimes it's Cheri Tree, sometimes it's Cheri.tree. Just there's some fake profiles, Carlos.
I'm telling you, man, people, all these AI people, scammers out there trying to impersonating us. And like I say, Cheri and I were never gonna message you asking you for money or any crazy stuff, anything weird like that. If you see a weird message, is an AI, is a clone, and they're getting creative. Even I know you and I, we verified and stuff, but even when you verified influencer, they still get creative. So definitely, my friend. And Cheri, it's 60 years from now, you are 100 years old. It's your eulogy. Your best friend is going to be reading that eulogy. And he's going to say, or she, Cheri Tree was ... In your own words, who was Cheri Tree?
Cheri Tree is someone who changed the world with the code. Cheri Tree made people matter. And I thought about that long and hard. I'll show you right here in the background. This is my little son. I gave birth to this little guy at almost 48 years old. And I thought, when I'm 100, he's going to be my age. And if I could give him one gift, it would be the key. And the key is a code. And that code unlocks the understanding of all of humanity. So that's what I want said about this. Long after I'm gone and dead, I want humanity to have a key, which is this code to understanding other human beings so that they can build and live their best lives ever.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Cheri Tree in the house. It literally went down. And for some of you guys, man, like I said earlier, guys, you wanted to stop the guessing and start knowing, go crack your personal code for free. Go into the link below in the descriptions of the show, under the comments. I personally posted there. And, take it as gift. It's not even Christmas or Black Friday yet, but this is a powerful free gift that will change your life. Understanding it's powerful when you start looking at things from a neuroscience, understanding on a much in-depth process. A lot of influencers and gurus and people that are very successful, the wealthiest families in the world, the Fortune 30 companies, they are using this stuff. They're using in different ways. You guys probably don't know. They're using it in their commercials. It's a lot of study, a lot of money that's spent on these processes. This isn't theory. This is the exact system that Cheri used to scale to 100 plus countries. This code expire soon. Go there now. I feel like Mission Impossible, the message expires soon, But now, guys, I'm so happy, Cheri. Thank you so much, my friend. What an incredible show, guys. Like I said, man, we all speak in different languages, but the code is the connection that has already been cracked. And the question now becomes, which you guys will keep guessing what people want, or will you learn to speak their language? So we are handing you guys the keys right here on this special episode of the Carlos Inspire Show. The rest, it's your move. Appreciate you, my friend Cheri. You guys know it. If you are feeling down, ready to give up on your family, on your job, and jump in that bridge, pull that trigger. Know that a little kid sold bread on the streets, and for 10 plus years making 50 cents a day. Know that other people are going through worse right now around the world. They don't even have a roof or some food to eat. And imagine Cheri on the right, me on the left, 600 pounds, 300 pounds, 6'5", looking you in the eyes, giving you a big old hug, lifting you out of the floor and saying, the days that breaks us are truly the days that makes us. Be blessed.